The year is 1993, and Tokyo, like most major cities at night, is a different world. Quieter, darker, and more alive with mystery. The rain has been falling for hours, soft but relentless, and the lights of the city reflect off the wet pavement like broken glass. This is the city Misaomi Chikamatsu knows, and it is here on a quiet Thursday night that his world is about to fracture forever. A solitary taxi rolls through the neon-lit streets, its engine the only sound cutting through the night air. Chikamatsu, a man who has been driving for over a decade, never thought much about ghosts until this ride. Chikamatsu was not an ordinary man. Born in 1950, he had lived a life of simple routines and long hours, driving a yellow taxi through the streets of Tokyo. To him, the passengers were a blur, stories of city life, but nothing more. He had seen it all. Drunks, hurried businessmen, tourists late for their flights. But none of them had ever caused him to pause for a second thought. It was Thursday, October 28th, 1993, when he picked up a passenger who would make him question everything he thought he knew about reality. He wasn't supposed to stop. It was late and the area wasn't exactly the most reputable. But something about her caught his eye. She stood alone under the flickering street lamp, her kimono soaked through from the rain. Her head was bowed slightly, and she didn't move when the taxi pulled up. He rolled down the window, his voice sharp in the cold air. "Where to?" She raised one pale hand, pointing up the hill. "Just drive." Something in her voice didn't sound right. Her tone was distant, almost as if she were already a part of the night, of the rain. He starts driving, trying to shake the strange feeling in the air. The streetlights blur as they pass by, casting eerie shadows on the wet pavement. It's always quiet when you drive at night, but tonight, there's something about her, something that makes the silence feel heavier. He glances at her through the rearview mirror. Her face is shadowed, but her presence is undeniable. She remains still, as though she doesn't even need to breathe. He focuses back on the road, but the street seems to stretch on unnaturally, winding deeper into darkness. She speaks again, her voice a mere whisper. "Turn left at the broken lantern." Chikamatsu raises an eyebrow. He's been driving these streets for years, but this route is unfamiliar to him. He checks his GPS. No signal, no map. It's like the city is playing tricks on him. But he turns, guided by nothing more than her command, down a narrow alleyway that seems to have no end. He doesn't see it at first. Just a flicker in the rear-view mirror. But then it hits him. He glances again, heart skipping in his chest. The woman's face is gone. Where her eyes should have been, there is only smooth, featureless skin, no nose, no mouth, just blank emptiness staring back at him. His breath catches in his throat. He can't look away. She's closer now, and yet she hasn't moved. He can barely breathe, his hands shaking on the steering wheel. She's right behind him now, her pale skin glowing faintly in the dim light. Her absence fills the cab, suffocating him. "Who are you?" he asks, his voice barely a whisper. No answer. The silence presses in, thick and unnatural. He grips the wheel tighter, trying to push the car faster, but it feels like the road is stretching, an endless curve into nowhere. His heart races as he slams the brakes, the taxi screeching to a halt on the slick road. He doesn't think, doesn't hesitate. He throws open the door and runs, his feet splashing through the rain-soaked streets. Behind him, the taxi's door hangs open, its lights still flickering like some kind of warning. He doesn't look back, but as he runs, the feeling of her presence never leaves. He locks himself inside his apartment, but the unease still clings to him. He can't shake the feeling that she's still with him, watching from the shadows. The TV hums softly in the background, but even its noise doesn't drown out the silence in the room. As he stares at the screen, he can't help but notice the faint reflection in the glass. Her outline, standing motionless behind him. Days pass, and he tries to move on. but she's still with him, lurking at the edges of his vision. He sees her in reflections, in the glass of a train window, in the surface of a puddle. Always the same, her faceless form, her cold presence. She is everywhere now, and there is nowhere he can hide. Days stretch into weeks, and the constant presence of the faceless woman begins to feel like a haunting shadow. Chikamatsu searches for answers. He asks around, talks to other drivers, but no one seems to know anything. It's then that he stumbles upon a forgotten urban legend, a tale of the Noppera-bō, the faceless ghost. This apparition, once a ghostly myth, now appears to have claimed him as its next victim. He goes to the shrine in search of a connection to the past, something to explain this intrusion into his life. Inside the dim temple, old scrolls and dusty relics line the walls. There's no sign of life, only silence. But in the back, a dusty scroll catches his eye. He unrolls it carefully, revealing strange symbols and an image of a woman with no face. The legend is older than he thought. This was no ordinary encounter. This was a curse, one that he couldn't escape. The more he learns, the more the truth starts to unravel. The faceless woman is a manifestation of something far older, far darker. Her face, no, her lack of face, is a symbol, a curse of forgotten spirits lost to time. She's not just haunting him, she's feeding off his fear. And with every passing moment, her grip tightens. As he delves deeper, Chikamatsu uncovers the truth. The faceless woman was once a living soul, a woman who died in a tragic accident, her identity lost forever in the chaos of wartime Tokyo. The curse that now binds her is a result of that forgotten life, an entity seeking vengeance for the lost and nameless. The past cannot be erased, and the spirits she left behind cannot find peace. One night, driven by desperation, Chikamatsu returns to the shrine, hoping to find some sort of closure. As he stands before the altar, he feels her presence behind him, the air thick with tension. The wind picks up, making the candles dance, casting eerie shadows on the walls. He turns, but she's not there. Instead, there's an impression, a dark shape, an absence of light where she stands. His breath catches, his mind screaming to run, but his feet are frozen in place. Fear drives him to the brink. He runs through the alleys, the city streets morphing into a blur of neon and shadows. He feels her behind him, always just a step away. This time, he doesn't look back. He knows he cannot outrun her, not in this world, not in this life. As he reaches the end of the alley, he feels the change. His vision blurs, his senses dulling. For the first time, he realizes what has been happening. He's becoming like her. His reflection in the glass is changing, his face fading, becoming a hollow shell. The faceless woman is taking over, and there is no way to stop it. In his final moments of clarity, Chikamatsu understands the full scope of the curse. The faceless woman doesn't just take your identity, she erases it completely, turning you into a shadow of yourself, a ghost of the living. He knows now. This isn't just about him. It's about all those who were forgotten, all those who were lost without a name, without a face. The woman isn't a curse, she's a warning. The last time Chikamatsu sees her is on the subway platform. He tries to run, to escape, but the doors close before he can get out. As the train pulls away, his reflection in the window is gone. Just another empty seat. And so, the legend of the faceless woman continues. There are whispers among the drivers, the taxi fleet, of passengers who vanish without a trace, of faces lost in the crowd. Some say they're still out there, waiting, watching, for the next unsuspecting soul. Chikamatsu's story is over, but the curse lives on.